Yes! Show me your moves! Because this is F-Zero. This will be a very short series. I dare to say mini-series. It's one of the launch titles for the Super Nintendo. The other one being Super Mario World. I think there's other ones like... I think Pilot Wings was one? I don't always resort to notes I have. So anyway, we'll be doing tracks of 5. Circuits of 5 tracks. I'll be doing this playthrough on the expert mode because that leads to a canon ending screen every time I do it. And that's about the size of it. I'm not doing masterclass. That shit is, personally dastardly. The yellow car, aka the Golden Fox ahead of me, tends to go out pretty quickly out the gate. This is either due to its high acceleration, which it does have the best acceleration, or it's because the AI's side, its position determines how fast it's going to be. In this case, the Golden Fox after me, followed by the Fire Stingray, which is the pink one, and the Wild Goose, which is the greenish-yellow one. Here in Mute City, which is the colloquialism of Mutant City, that being what a future New York City would be like on a planet, in space, in the future. Look, you don't have to worry about pit crews. You go over the pit, you get instantly healed for your power. And unlike future F-Zero games, you don't have to worry about, using your power in any other way other than getting damaged. So, you can get damaged for a bit as long as you heal it up while being on the strategic pit of pitness. Those blue jump plates, they make you jump. And when you do jump, I try to hold down on the D-pad so I can land pretty smoothly, And there's always going to be 5 laps, so one thing you notice is that you see the safe thing that turns what rank I have to be in order to qualify for the next lap. Well, the last one's always going to be 3, so I do not have to be first in order to win. If I get 3rd in every race, I still win. This is a good thing. Besides those 3 other cars, including this Blue Falcon, the car I chose, which is because it's average, there's these other brown cars. I forgot what they're called, like Wild Boar or something. Either way, they're just the restless standard cars in front of me that happen after the first lap, and also these explosive ones that just sit on the road waiting for you to run them over. But if you fall behind far enough, I think there ends up being other cars of this type, except they're painted purple. Or some other types. I've never been so far back behind the 5th until I just screw this and try the track again. But I'm going to try to go as far as I can, no matter how badly I'm doing, until I get disqualified, instead of just being giving up in order to feel like I'm saving time. Because I might not really. This is Big Blue. It's an ocean planet. 99% water, they say, according to the lore. So why not just use all that spare surface tension and build some racing tension, right? See that darkened stuff? I guess it's rough, on a golf course. The other thing you notice in this track is there's this watery stuff or whatever. The point is that it's got less friction, which is a bastard when you're turning on it. So just be mindful of, try not to turn too hard on that stuff unless you're letting go of the engine and speeding back up. Yeah, there'll be massive uses of the LNR button. I don't know how much I can explain about the basic controls before it just becomes I'm reading the instruction manual. So go ahead and read the instruction manual and watch the rest of this video, because I don't know if I want to go over all those things, or all the ins and outs of a racing game is not that exciting for me to explain, I guess. I was also debating even doing a racing game, because I'm just okay, I'm swapping back between first-person shooters and platformers. And then I did a DOS platform. I'm let me do a different kind of game. And I'm I got these racing playthroughs to do over again. Why not start with this? Maybe later do some Mario Kart. Well, at least one. But I could do a lot of these, because at least when they have different intro screens, so yeah. If not, I'll have to come up with something. Maybe I'll just put some extra graphic on the thumbnail to distinguish it. I don't think it'd be the default way, so I'll think of something, alright? I got the things. big blues. I guess it's a combination of blues and big band music. Some say I'm reference overdosing. I say I'm not referencing enough. Or some of the stuff I'm referencing isn't actually a reference at all, and you're crazy. You know, there's a conspiracy that everything I say has to refer to something. Well, technically everything does, because everything is derivative. It's just, in my case, I seem to have made it more obvious because I'm deconstructing that fact by telling you the origin. Well, I say origin, but really, whatever is the predecessors, because there's predecessors to those things. As far as, I guess what you could say, the Big Bang, or whatever you want to call that. Just like, boom, existence. And then boom, F-Zero. You notice how fast I'm going, by the way? I'm pretty sure that is at least the speed of sound. So, my ears should be dead. Or we have some special protection in these cars. Something like that. Oh yeah, when I get 10,000 points, I get an extra life. Yep, you'll be wanting those extra lives, so another reason to just keep going if you are about to disqualify, so you have another chance of getting an extra life. Just keep getting those points, man. It's the only reason I need them. It's the only reason why you keep getting first, is for the points. This is Sand Ocean. It's a desert. You know about how deserts work, don't you? They're dry and arid, and stress stinks, but arid works. Yeah. And let's not beat around the bush. There's only so much I could say about each of these tracks. I could just go into my usual vlog mode and talk about whatever's on my mind, but I don't know. It fills in the void, as you say. Coming over to the Pete place. It's also relatively fast. This is a good thing to do when feel like I've wasted time and be like, I need to churn out something really quick. Here you go. I got this high-speed future racer from the 90s. Oh, nice! Yeah. Yeah, no. Of course. I don't get how the Japanese release would be 1990 and this wouldn't be immediate after, but I think that it more has to do with the Super Nintendo release. Because there's not much translated in the Japanese ROM. I think the Japanese ROM still has the Japanese cartridge ROM, whatever do you want to call that? There wouldn't have been that much to translate anyway. It's perfectly playable. You don't have to worry about it reading a thing. Really? As long as the numbers are there. So, yeah, just right now. So you can see power and speed and save and rank and be like, whatever. But you'd know what these numbers are doing. You can tell about the time elapsed, speed, the score, then eventually figure out what these ranking things are all about. Though I suppose that'd be relatively obvious, but maybe not the safe thing. Safe spot for safe people. Don't try going reverse. This is one of the problems with the ROM hacks in this game, is that some people don't put in these things to determine which way is the right way to go, so you'll get like false reverse notifications. Yeah, make sure you got your pathing system set up right. Just because it looks like you played it out doesn't mean the game is actually listening to what you have to say. But it's at least a fun time for all on our final lap of Pal Lamafs. You got boost power. Oh yeah, that's right. There's no boost power. Sorry, man. No boost. There isn't a customizing of the cars. Yeah, I've wanted to do F-Zero Eggs for a very long time, and I just can't cut it. I just can't do it. I mean, I tried, but I can't actually do the game on expert mode. That's kind of what my goal is for, and I just couldn't. I think it's just too fucking hard. Probably the hardest game. It's so hard, I can't even get annoyed by how hard it is, because it's just so out of my league that it's just funny when I attempt to do it. It's like, well, like being so far behind, like you get in like the double digits of a position, you're like, maybe I can't do this game. This is Deathwind. It's called Deathwind because there's wind. And the death is the part implied from what it causes when you're racing. Actually, no, I think it has to do with the fact that it can somehow blow me despite the massive amounts of speed I'm going in. But the wind is just like a programming effect or whatever, you know. It determines whether you're going left or right from the middle, but you can you can maneuver around, hold your card safely, but it's kind of a big deal when it's like other cars are hitting you and you're trying to get on these zipper thingies. The zipper thingies increasing your speed. Yeah, the zippers and jump plates are also in Mario Kart. What a surprise! It's almost like they use the same engine or something. Interesting, I know. What about these edge case things? Also, I guess that's acid. I don't know. I know that Pico, the driver of Wild Goose, supposedly comes from here. So how's that for fun? How's that for fun stuff and knowledge? Yeah, there's his car right now. Actually, take a look at it. I think if I remember the stats, it was like what, ADB. I think it the best. Yeah, so like the best stat for it is like. I don't know. Fire Stinger's got a good body stat. I don't know. That stat stuff doesn't exactly. There's no letter thing. It's not until the 64 and later which they stick to the 3-letter system. Here it's just like, okay, stuff happens. Get used to it. For other games in which I have multiple choice of what character to play the entire time, or in between the entire time, I'm going to try to choose the most average one. In many Mario spin-off games like Kart and the sports, Mario's the balanced one, so I'll just end up being Mario. That's not to say you shouldn't try playing the game as other characters. You should. You should. In fact, when I do this stuff in multiplayer, you won't see me doing the balanced one. I'll be doing one more of my choice to feel a little more competitive, or just trying to go what works to my strengths and weaknesses and whatnot. But given that there's only one of 4 choices here, I guess the Blue Falcon would still do anyway. You know, maybe try to fire Stingray more and give that car a chance. It's just without good acceleration, you're gonna get creamed. You know, if you're trying to do like a drag race time trial, yeah. Welcome to Silence. I don't know why Silence is some awesome music, but I do know it just means Silence Planet basically has no life. But even though it shows kind of signs of being, I guess maybe it can support life. There is no life except for us racing. No one here but us racers, eh? Hello, my fellow racers. This track is very, geometric. It's very angular. Yeah, there we go. It's very angular. You expect these turns to be all round and stuff. It's like, nah, just shift directly 90 degrees for everybody. Except for that one turn I see there. Yeah, except for that one turn that goes up around the other road. It's all 90-degree turns. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, it sure is. Even that last part right there, which could have easily been a loop, and it was not. Really, it should just be... Oh my god, I got hit by an explosion. It didn't do as much damage as I thought it would, though, which is good. But, you know, maybe if I went higher speed, it would fuck me up. It definitely just... It's not even so much about the damage as it's about possibly slowing me down. If your power gets too low, without actually having your car explode and die, you'll lose a lot of speed very quickly. It'll be very hard to get back from that, unless you know where the pit is, and it's coming up, and you're like, I'm saved! But you may as well be screwed at that point, for sure. Oh yeah, don't try jumping off the track. You'll be dead. And then it'd be a very embarrassing experience for us all, wouldn't it? Something that's more likely to happen in ROM hacks, because it's like, where am I going? Smash! So, yeah, I suppose I should be quiet while I'm playing Silence. Nah. No, we're not doing that gag again. But I do have to think about what dead air means. Like, if it was scripted, I would fill in all the dead air I could. That's for sure. You just gotta know the variability of these races and how long they could be. But they didn't turn out that bad. It's really the third video that's gonna be, on par with the average length of one of my videos so far, I guess. When I get to a point where there's a game where I can only segment it by hours, we're gonna have, like, issues. Like, a really big singular doom level, be like, oh man, what do I do? Let me go over the places I am and all the ranks I was per lap, and the lap times and total times. Just to remind you of how I did while we get this cool sideways, or whatever scene of the car going around by itself. It acts like an AI, in which you're not going to get destroyed that way, and it could also fall off and still control itself, because it's just a demonstration. You know, I can't actually... I know the characters, but you don't actually... I don't think you can actually see them in the car sprites. If you can, good for you. Maybe just read that one comic that comes with this game, then. I suppose. It's like a combination of Batman / Judge Dredd, right? Okay. At the end of each video, you will get the credits. All the credits are going to read the same. As far as I know, the ROM hacks don't really change the credits all that much either. If they do, I will be sure to point that out for you. Your main man, Shigeru Miyamoto, is the man. And whimsical. Good for that guy. I guess I should note another thing about credits in general. Is just like, you know, credits back then for video games only had like a few dozen people at a time. Nowadays, look up the credits of a video game or movie and see how big those get. Because there's literally like thousands, maybe even 10,000s of people working on this one thing, and we all have to acknowledge who they are. I feel like that's a problem with Kickstarters, because it's just like, okay, thanks to everyone, like, you may as well just try listing the name out of everyone on the planet. It's like, okay, thank you to everyone on the planet. List off names. Good job, you know. And not even real names either, just like usernames. We hope you try Master Level. I can tell you the Master Level is bullshit. You won't be seeing it on these LPs. Unless for some reason there's some way they make it more canon. But as far as I know, Expert Mode is where we're going to be doing this till the end of time. And then you see what they are in the records menu. Just don't always get replaced. It depends on how well you did, really. I just don't know if it applies to, like, laps or... I guess I never looked at them since the records is now on the main screen. Maybe I should go look at that. Alright, see you soon.